Next up on my NBA preview special, my Peacock. Is that a Phoenix? Because I see a sun. Phoenix without the fire. Peacock, whatever. Milwaukee Bucks. Team futuristic. Team, if they're a stock, you need to buy them because they're probably, in my opinion, win an NBA championship or should win an NBA championship within the next 3 to 4 years. And the main reason for that is they're the anti-Warriors. They're a team that's built to stop the Warriors and at the same time stop isolation-heavy teams like the Cleveland Cavaliers. When you look at their roster, you have Michael Carter-Williams. He didn't have a good year. Jason Kidd doesn't seem to be a fan, but he still could be useful. Chris Middleton, leading scorer, also has the ability to defend people. Who's 6'8". Jabari Parker, he can come off the bench, be a guy that can be a spark plug. They have a problem scoring, the Milwaukee Bucks. And he can come in and be just a hybrid 3-4 shooter and score. He's 6'8". Then you have Greg Monroe. Again, he didn't have the best of years in Milwaukee. O.J. Mayo didn't have the best years of Milwaukee in his first year. Then he had a nice bounce back year the second year around. But then, that happened, or his problems happened. And then you have John Henson, who's 6'10", Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's 6'11", Thon Maker, who's 70 feet tall. I'm going to get back to Thon Maker because I really like him. But you look at what the Warriors do, and the reason why I say they're the anti-Warriors or team real futuristic or the future, because the Warriors, they pass and they move with a purpose. The Utah Jazz just pass for the sake of passing, but they go slow. They seem like a bit of a paradox of a team, but they pass and move with a purpose. But if you've seen them in the playoffs, the passing goes down. And as they continue on, particularly in the finals the last 2 years, their passing continues to kind of go down. And the reason is because the Cleveland Cavaliers have basically watched the Warriors' tendencies. And there's very little you can do, as much as people like to say, hey, they rediscovered the game of basketball. There's very little that you can do when teams figure out you like to do X, Y, and Z. It's just like you're game planning for them. And the further the Warriors go, the more familiar you get with their offense. And with the Milwaukee Bucks in 2 or 3 years or 4 years from down the line, they'll be ready for that because the Warriors will pretty much have exhausted every kind of way that they can move the basketball, which means that they're going to slow down and have to play isolation, and that's not their strength. And another example of the teams that like to move around and pass the ball is the Golden State Warriors is the San Antonio Spurs. And if you watch their series against Oklahoma City, in the 2 wins and in the 4 losses, there was a huge discrepancy in the number of passes that they were able to, attempt, and that was because the length and the size of the Thunder was very disruptive, and the Bucks are able to do that. And a guy like Antetokounmpo who's got the lateral quickness and the size to disrupt. Curry also has the strength to stop LeBron James from freight training their way to the basketball. Or you can put him on a guy like Kyrie Irving and has the ability to stop that, along with Middleton again. And you have Henson back there, even though he doesn't have the strength, to be somewhat of a rim protector. Now, coming back to my like of Thon Maker, and the reason why I like it is because it adds to the length theory. It adds to the fact that he's got superstar potential or star potential. And they're basically coming out and just rolling the dice and saying, hey, rather than taking a rotation player, let's take a chance at the best avenue for us to get a star player, because you're not signing anybody. You're not trading for anybody. So why not draft and develop? And they're basically saying he's got superstar potential. If he misses, if he makes, we're geniuses. And we're really the team that's light years ahead of everybody, because we realized basically from college basketball and what Kentucky did when they had Karl Anthony Towns, length and size and rotations can have a devastating effect defensively, and then offensively you still have the ability, even though they're not it's not the strength of the Milwaukee Bucks, you have the ability to maybe grind teams out and score enough points, and teams basically say, how do we get past the Milwaukee Bucks? And maybe they end up starting cupping you. So buy your stock in the Milwaukee Bucks today.